Good motherfucking morning, motherfucking days. Good motherfucking morning, ladies. How are you all doing today? This most beautiful of Mondays, our Monday morning. We're good, chilling, Gucci, Tamagotchi, Gucci. Scooch, scooch. Pretty good, pretty good. All good, all good. Very nice. Very, very nice. Anything cool, fresh, new, exciting happening in the world today? No. New Evo events in France starting in October and in Singapore starting in 2026. Oh wow. Wow, wow, wow. Am I gonna win the Tekken tournament? Yes. Definitely. Definitely. 100%. Biden died. Biden is gone, and not just on Twitch. Let's see here. Razer came out with a keyboard that has automatic perfect counter strafing. What? What is counter strafing? Counter strafing? Oh, you mean when you are trying to line up like a deagle headshot and shit?
Never sub, never donated, and not on free Wi-Fi, stolen laptop, stolen car, stolen gasoline, stolen wife. Forsen, when is the last time you chewed dumb and rhythm? 7 sextillion, 777 quintillion, 777 quadrillion, 777 trillion, 777 billion, 777 million, 777,000, 777.
Very good, very good. If you are holding A and you press D, then it automatically unpresses A. But that's not. That's cheating. What are you talking about? If I press A in
Please clarify who will you support in this election, Mr. Force.
And then
pretend like D, you care.
Then D overrides A and it becomes neutral. And you don't actually have to. You don't actually have to move to the right. Or what do you mean? It reduces lag by 50 milliseconds. Okay. I guess that's science, bitch.
Forsen's turn peppy laugh. Why were you not a diva, Forsen? It's time to get to blue rank. Nina tea time.
Oh, I'm long past blue rank. Alright, motherfucker. I just don't play, but I would be a Tekken god for sure. By now. 100%. Alright, let's see here. We got some Zubbies, we got some resubbies, we got Walter Mellon. Thank you for the prime sub. Casmo with a tier 2, 15 months. Nice. Stenodo 7. Mosey Budge. Ego Kind. The Fried Eggs. Erdic PC. Charlene. And Imzor 3 years. This is Forsen Party. Forsen Party. Now it's time to party! Thank you very much, sir. Cheeseburger steak with 300 bits. You are so right, boss. I haven't even said anything. But I am always right. You're right about that. You're right about that. You are most certainly right about that. Alright, let's see here. We got links. Links. Surely it's good stuff. Now it's time to check it.
Somebody once wrote, hell is the impossibility of reason.
Rising storm.
Hell.
What is rising storm? By fire be purged. That is awful editing. What the fuck is this editing?
No more links, Your Honor. Also, when is the Terraria playthrough starting? Feels okay, man. Today for sure.
Yeah, surely. It will be today, one day.
The flamethrower was a crispy critter producing portable can of whoop-ass that was most effective against fortified positions, like bunkers and gun emplacements.
Bunkers, gun emplacements. Alright, I'll try to remember that.
Swear to God, I'm gonna burn your fucking life field! Burn!
My spider senses are starting to tingle.
Die, motherfucker!
Double kill.
Get your ass back here! Fuck you!
Uncle Sam sends his regards, shithead! You missed that one. Fuck! Motherfucker! Hey, Charlie, you can call me John Wayne! Fuck you! Whack that motherfucker! God damn, that was fucking awesome!
A dangerous right-handed batter. Here's the pitch.
Die, you commie fucker!
I'm lagging, I can't stop. Oh! It's just like my last video. Holy shit.
Die, motherfucker! Corn! God damn you! Fucking die!
Yeah, you're done.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? What the? You see me fucking waving?
What the fuck?
Damn, Mac, I'm gonna light these motherfuckers up! Die, motherfucker! Fuck you! God damn it, die!
What an experience.
Beef overload! Oh, what am I doing? What has my life become? What did he do it right? I did it right. What do you mean? There, you fucker! What a fucking nade. What a fucking nade, dude! Holy shit! Get rolled. Just sad. Oh my god, that's a big fucking spider. Fucking
dumpster, idiot. Oh my god, that's the biggest spider I've ever seen on my wall! Holy shit! Holy shit! Oh my god!
Let's see. Doesn't sound Australian.
Holy shit! He's rolled. Oh my fucking god, oh my god, oh my god. I know I missed! Fuck! Fuck! There's a huge ass spider! My god! It's huge! Locker. Oh shit, here we go. I gotta get in closer.
It's high noon.
Meth fucking cream! My god! My god! The orange kid dance? Orange justice? Alright, let's just...
Yo, is this the real Deller? Yo, we actually lose this. Deller's actually a fucking brain dead, toxic retard. Can't wait for him to fucking break his keyboard on his fucking face.
Alright then.
メイちゃんに似合いそうだな。
岡崎さんが本当のお兄さんだったらいいのにな。
本当にそう思ってるか？
本当ですよ。
なら試しに兄のように接してくれよ。
兄のようにですか？じゃあ、お兄ちゃん。どうしたのお兄ちゃん。
いや、思ったより破壊力あるな。
何言ってるの？変なお兄ちゃん。
これはやばい。とりあえずお兄ちゃん禁止だ。
どうして？お兄ちゃんって呼んじゃダメなの？お兄ちゃん。
やっぱりやめないでくれ。お前たちいつから？
メイちゃんにお兄ちゃんって呼ばせてるの。やば、とても興奮していたの。
岡崎くん。
違う、これには訳が。
私たち何も見てませんから。
バカが映る。逃げるわよ。
違うんだ。
ほら早く
待ってくれ。やっぱりお兄ちゃん禁止。いや、やっぱり禁止はなしだ。
お兄ちゃん、目どうすればいいの？
やっぱり禁止だ。禁止だ。
Brain cancer.
It is dangerous.
Over there. Pujet, look! It is the governor of our prison. It cannot be. It is. I'm sure it is. Be careful.
I know this man. He is a good man.
Who are you?
I am a gardener.
Join us, comrade, or pass off.
造反有理，一反到底。20万岁，反有理。
But what has he done?
He's been accused.
Accused of what?
Emperor's lucky. The villainous element. Rotten righteous.
Confess your crime.
Nothing to confess.
Cut Tao to trim her mouth. Confess your crimes.
Nothing to confess.
Cut Tao.
造反有理，造反有理，一反到底。
Confess your crime.
Wait! He is a teacher. He is a good teacher. You cannot do this to him.
Move. You want to beat him?
He is a good teacher.
What a glorious system.
I don't know.
Wake it out, man.
I don't know how to play.
There's an enemy spawn right next to us.
Wake it out, man.
Fantastic. Alright. Okay.
How's the happy landing? There's enemy squad. Enemy squad.
What a worthy clip, huh? Like, I'm gonna upload that on YouTube. That was legit. It's just gonna be production company interest, isn't it? Very good. Can't wait for the sequel.
Good evening, guest services. How can I help you?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Excuse me. Actually, my English is not good.
Okay.
But you know Tom and Jerry?
Yes, the cartoon.
Yeah. Jerry is here in my room.
I'm sorry?
Jerry is here in my room.
You have a mouse in the room.
Yeah. Please, come here and when you come here, bring Tom with you.
But we don't have Tom in the hotel.
Okay, come please.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
What the fuck? Tomfoolery.
On Melwater's property in the Monastash Ridge west of Ellensburg, Washington, there's a hole in the ground that looks like a well. But it's not a well. Like the owners of the property before him, Mel used the hole as a trash dump. His neighbors used it too. Garbage, broken appliances, old tires, everything went into the hole. After a while, Mel started to wonder,
why does he have 30 layers of fucking filters on?
Doesn't it fill up? And then he started to notice other strange things about the hole. His dogs wouldn't go near it. It caused his radio to pick up strange signals, and it didn't seem to have a bottom. Mel's curiosity became an obsession. Well, let's see if we can get to the bottom of Mel's hole. Mel's hole is a round pit 9 feet 9 inches in diameter. There's a stone retaining wall built around it that goes down about 15 feet. After that, the hole extends down into darkness. Well, not only did Mel Waters and his wife dump everything in the hole, but so did his neighbors. And this has been going on for a long time, for years before Mel even moved in. Mel's neighbors said they couldn't remember a time when the hole wasn't there. So why can't you hear objects hitting the bottom? Why can't you hear your own echo? Mel set out to determine exactly how far down this hole goes. An avid fisherman, Mel had spools of fishing line on hand. So he attached a 1-pound weight to the line and sent it down the hole. It went 4,500 feet, the full length of the reel, and didn't hit bottom. He reeled the line up, attached a roll of lifesavers, and sent it all the way down again. Mel wanted to see if there was water at the bottom, and if there was, the lifesavers would come up dissolved, but they came up dry. And Mel had more spools of fishing line, each one 5,000 feet. He attached another spool, now down almost 10,000 feet, and still no bottom. Spool after spool of fishing line went down the hole. He could not reach the bottom. By the time Mel ran out of line, he was 80,000 feet down, over 15 miles, and still no bottom. While experimenting, Mel noticed that his dogs wouldn't come anywhere near the hole. Even when forced, the dogs would dig their feet in. There were no animals of any kind near the hole. No wildlife, no insects. Birds even flew around it. And since the hole was known to his neighbors, Mel asked around if anyone noticed their dogs feeling uneasy by the hole, and they all said yes. Then one of his neighbors said, "Speaking of dogs, not too long ago his dog died, so he threw its body into the hole." A few days later, that dog came back.
Real.
After Mel's neighbor threw his dead dog into the hole.
Why? Just why?
I don't know.
You can't bury it.
I really don't know.
Sometimes humans are very disappointing.
They certainly can be. Anyway, a couple of days after disposing of his dog's body down the hole, he saw it running through a wooded area near the property. Now, he knew it was his dog because it was wearing the same collar, but for some reason, the dog didn't come when he called. And the dog acted like he didn't know his owner at all.
Ooh, maybe it's a version of his dog from another dimension.
Well, that's definitely a theory. And as the weird stories piled up and the fishing line kept going down, Mel was at a loss. He was
out of his depth.
Right. Mel needed help figuring out exactly what this hole was. And in 1997, there's only one place to discuss the strange and mysterious and be taken seriously. Coast to Coast AM with Art Bell.
From the high desert and the great American Southwest, I bid you all good evening and or good morning wherever you may be across this great land of ours.
Coast to Coast was on hundreds of stations around the world and had 10 million listeners. If anyone could help Mel, it was Art Bell and his audience. Mel sent Art a message on February 21st, 1997. Art called him, and Mel's hole became known to the world. Over the course of several shows, Mel Waters would reveal more and more details about the mysterious hole. The good news is Mel was getting really good advice from people all around the world, like use a laser to measure or use radar to check the distance. The bad news is now millions of people knew about this hole, and from clues given by Mel on the radio, you can get a pretty good idea of where it was. The day after the first broadcast, Mel was returning to his property, but the entrance was blocked.
The government.
Yep. The US military was now aware of the hole, and they wanted it, all to themselves.
Okay. Real.
Way. The start of this game is going to be almost entirely using your ability to jump from object to object, trying to get to where you need to be, and it requires a lot of creativity. A good example of how this works in practice is that if you're controlling a robot that needs to get through a door, you don't just open the door. Your consciousness hops out of the robot, takes over the door, you open yourself, and then you hop back into the robot and press on because a door can't walk through itself. The main reason you're going to be jumping around to as many objects as possible is ego. Ego is the embodiment of consciousness and also your primary currency, which is a little on the nose there. You gain ego either by picking it up around the station or hopping into an object that can't resist your influence. You expend ego to use it to take over things that can resist you, such as enemy robots or security terminals, or you expend it to buy some juice at the vending machine. Juice is very important early on because you don't have a way of getting it yourself unless you find pickups, and pickups are rather sparse. Juice powers all of your abilities, from your ability to like jump and fly to your shotgun, cloaking device, and pretty much everything else you get. While we're on the subject of scarcity, ego can be hard to come by, and a lot of thought goes into what exactly you're going to take over and how you're going to get past a room. You could try taking over a security camera to either disable them from seeing you so that you can slip past the patrolling robots, or forget about going back to your bug body entirely and just hop from camera to camera all the way to the door and find something else to take over on the other side of the room. You can always just print a new bug when you need one later on. Need to turn a lot of robots into a lot of scrap parts? Well, you could just go in there with your shotgun and start blasting, but that's going to take most, if not all of your juice, making all your other items effectively, well, useless. I'll admit that normally I'm not too hot on a universal ammo system like here in Control-Alt-Ego, but Mindfunk does a good job of contextualizing it in the world, and it makes sense from both a story and gameplay perspective. Alternatively, you could use some of your ego to take over one of the robots and use it to destroy all the others. An especially neat bit about having no true body is that every individual entity you can take over has its own health and juice pool, meaning that if you want to take over a dad robot and use it to disintegrate the other robots in a room, that's the dad's power and juice you're wasting, not your main bugs. That last bit is especially important because when something you're controlling has low power, it moves slower and it's harder to get away from threats when you're in that body. So using other people's power and juice is a very good way to make sure you have longevity in a level. But ego is only half the equation, if even that. Just like any good immersive sim, you've got a whole bunch of extremely exploitable tools and tricks at your disposal to make it through the space station and beyond. You've got the basic abilities such as flying around in a good old-fashioned shotgun, a shield generator that works by sapping power from other things around you instead of yourself, a teleport ability that lets you not just teleport but also appear in a different form at your destination, the ability to move heavy stuff with a tractor beam, a combat vacuum, and more. The best part about the variety of tools and abilities that is, aside from your hover ability, which is part of the tutorial in installing new programs, which is what Control-Alt-Ego calls its abilities, you have access to everything as soon as you're able to install new abilities, and there is no wrong answer as to what build you start with. Every ability has a means to get you through the entire game and can be built up, used, and exploited to make it through the whole game quite easily. Want to sneak through everything with invisibility? Totally doable. Want to dump all your worms into the shotgun and just mulch everything in sight?
I don't want to do any of that. That looks not much fun. they had audio tracks on these old movies, why could they not just record a very long audio track of all the dialogue? And just have it be like dubbed looking. It was a live music performance. They didn't have like big ass gramophone or some shit. I can link you a 3-hour video essay explaining it. Yeah, maybe we can watch it over the course of 30 streams.
শুরু করেন তো ভাই তাড়াতাড়ি তাহলে আপনারা সবাই প্রস্তুত মারেন শুরু আচ্ছা দিনাবার প্রস্তুত দেখা যায় মেলা সময় লেগে গেছে রাসেল ভাই তিন দলের কিন্তু আরো একটা সুযোগ ছিল গোল দেওয়ার সুন্দর নীল দল গোলের কাছাকাছি ফাউল খেলো না ঠিক আছে হলুদ দল 0 রাসেল ভাই কি বিনোদনের খেলা ভাই খুব ভালো লাগছে
I know this is tilting towards one direction. This table is not symmetrical.
আবারো শুরু হয়ে গেল হলুদ দলের সুযোগ হলুদ দল 1 নীল দল 2
Shouldn't they have a goalkeeper instead of a forward next to the goal? It seems like a stupid idea to do it the other way around.
হলুদ নীল
Who's gonna win the 2 liters edible oil?
ঠিক আছে ভাই
I can't wait.
চেষ্টা করেন
Wow, fucking Messi
can't stress enough just how much player freedom you have to go about these puzzles and the main story tasks in the game. It's a marvel of design that every last room is done in such a way that there's essentially no wrong answer. And I don't mean that in a this is super easy type way. In fact, I had to take a few breaks during my playthrough because the little hamster in my head got tuckered out on its wheels, so I called it a day. It's more of a every challenge in Control-Alt-Ego is so complex that there are answers that the devs couldn't even think of or could have possibly think of, and all of it's valid. Here's an example that I'm not going to give too much context on since it's in the late game, but I'll summarize it as, you need to get into this room, but the door isn't working properly. Now, you could hover to just the right spot to get a line of sight for teleportation and slip inside that way, exploiting that you can go anywhere that you have a clear path to, even if that path is about an inch wide. It's going to be a big problem getting out of that room later on by this same method, but that's cool. You can just ego hop out of the room through the walls to the bug printer at the beginning of the level and just reprint your body at the start of the area once you've gotten all the goodies. But what if you don't have the teleport ability? Well, there's a dad in the area, and you can use your tractor beam to pick it up and move it over to where it's close enough to the door that it has a line of sight through the crack. Ego hop into the dad and intentionally serialize your bug and then regenerate it inside of the office. And if either of those tricks don't work well, there's always, the intended method of figuring out how to get the door working again. This is essentially the game. You are given a certain task that you must do, and essentially anything is fair game to complete it. Sure, you could just go about the basics and shotgun your way through the game, which I'll admit I did for certain parts early on as I was learning the rules, but then again, later on when you can combine the shotgun with other abilities for some crazy cheese strats, it becomes a fun way to go about things when, if you have a really huge hammer, it doesn't matter if anything is a nail or not. Just about anything you're given can be used in concert with anything else to get the job done, and all the little puzzles you find around the game act like little sparks of ideas to get your imagination going to make the most cheese-tastic things possible. Since there are essentially as many ways to cheese and Control-Alt-Ego as there are possible ability combinations, times every last room or other area in the game, times all the ways you can ego hop into other entities, I'm just going to tell you a few of my favorites that I've done or tried to do so that you can get a feel for all the stuff you're capable of doing. Let's start with something that's not too far off the beaten path. If anything, this is entirely intended. Combat vacuuming. One of the abilities you can get which would benefit you for having early on is the vacuum. It's literally a vacuum attachment for your bug's arm that lets you suck up little bits of destroyed enemies and recycle them into extra battery power and juice. It's not particularly good when you first get it, but especially early on in the game, every last little scrap of power and juice you can salvage is...
We get it. Very good.
CBYAG.
Force!
FHBTI.
550.
WDXBSN.
Again. Type again.
WDX.
Type again.
Type?
Oh my god. Type again.
The fuck is he saying?
Type again with the scrolls.
GPBGIP.
What?
Type AGAIN. You type it with the scroll. You type it.
I'm so sorry. All right. One of the.
All right.
A bad feeling about the Chancellor. I have.
Yes, Master Baldu should investigate him.
Over my dismembered, electrocuted body.
Rest assured, Master Windows. I have already successfully resolved the issue with the Chancellor.
What? No way, dude.
Keep dreaming, buddy. Believe you, we do not, sucker.
Yo, can we speed this up? I need to smoke my death sticks.
You think you're smarter than us? Young Skywanker?
Well, esteemed Microsoft Windows, even in my early stages of cognition, I perceived an incongruity in the Chancellor's aura.
Man, what a fantastic day. It's great to see you, Uber Van Kenobi and young Skywanker.
What's up, Sidious?
Oh, shit.
Alas, when I presented this fact to the Council, you responded with mockery.
What? The Chancellor, a Sith Lord? Are you stupid, boy?
Waste of space. Even kids can be.
Go play in traffic or something, kiddo.
The Council's ignorance of this threat is astonishing. Through advanced computational infiltration, I uncovered the Chancellor's clandestine schemes to engineer the subversion of the Republic, destroy the Jedi Council, and establish a galactic empire.
All right, shut your damn mouth, boy.
Aware that persuading the Council was futile, I seized control of my destiny. Over time, I strategically gained the Chancellor's trust by subtly feigning an interest in the dark side.
Do you know by any chance how I can keep the ones I care about from dying?
Funny you should ask, Anakin. Let me tell you a great story.
Simultaneously, leveraging my extensive intellectual capacity, I achieved groundbreaking progress in the development of revolutionary technologies, including chronosynaptic resonators, neutrino propulsion systems, and quantum superluminal entanglement telemetry.
So what's for lunch? I'm starving.
Wookiee burgers.
In solitude, I dedicated countless hours to deep contemplation within the Jedi Council, achieving a profound unity with the Force and discerning the universe's subtle interconnections. I successfully negotiated a ceasefire with General Grief Stages.
I was expecting someone with your reputation to be a little older.
Generous Grievous. Age is a relative construct when viewed through the prism of relativistic temporal dynamics. Your expectations are merely a byproduct of a linear perception that fails to account for the non-Euclidean geometries of our space-time continuum. A ceasefire would introduce decoherence, aligning our strategic objectives within a coherent quantum field, thus maximizing entropic efficiency and minimizing unnecessary dissipative structures.
That's right.
What?
And imparted knowledge to the younglings about the intricate dichotomies inherent in various contradicting dichotomies, delving into further dichotomies.
Master Flyswatter, we don't even know what a dichotomy is.
Furthermore, I was awarded the Noodle Peace Prize for leading the droid attack on the Wookiees. Commander, initiate the systematic neutralization of the Wookiee populace.
Roger Schmodger. Blast them.
Wow. Impressive, Anakin. It seems I misjudged your abilities.
Your astute observation is much appreciated, Master Enormous Forehead. And above all, I learned the profound significance of the high ground, both strategically and metaphorically.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground!
Indeed, your vantage point is superior. I shall refrain from attempting to traverse the gap.
Dude, get to the point, sucker.
Yes, I really need a smoke break.
Dude, shut up and let Anakin talk.
Oh, wow. Who do you think you are, Master Dickhead?
What did you just call me? Master Midlife Crisis?
Stop wasting time and finish your story, nerd.
Well, all my strategic initiatives and accumulated knowledge have led to a final, pivotal dialogue with the Chancellor. Did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Sidious the Unwise?
What?
I thought not. Darth Sidious was a Dark Lord of the Sith. Despite his immense power, he remained willfully ignorant of the latent potential within those he deemed inferior. Sidious sought to seduce the young Jedi, Luke Screwdriver, to the dark side, confident in his ability to manipulate the young knight. However, he grossly underestimated the powerful bond between Luke and his father, Darth Elevator. In a defining moment,
yoink,
Elevator pierced through Sidious's deceit and ultimately betrayed and annihilated the Emperor. In an inexplicable twist of fate, Sidious somehow returned, only to meet his end once more at the hands of a Jedi named Riley or something. However, this is tangential to the central thesis. The essence of the matter is that the dark side inexorably corrupts both the individual and their surroundings, fostering an obsessive pursuit of power. This relentless obsession precipitates betrayal and suffering for all parties involved, including oneself.
Very good. X-Fire, I think it was 3 years, man. This is Forsen, Edarox, welcome back, and Farbarbara as well. Thank you, ladies.
Let's begin with a question, and as I ask this question, there's probably going to be a certain kind of confessional that it's going to require from you, and that's simply this. How many times have you looked back on an interaction that you've had with a narcissist and you've thought, I got hooked? And then you might also add the word again. I got hooked by their manipulations and their attitudes and their condescensions, and I got pulled into the game. Has that ever happened to you? And you know it can happen so easily without you having any kind of realization that it's going on until after the fact. Typically, you can look at your engagements with those narcissistic people and you can realize, yeah, we had yet another bad argument that escalated way too quickly and I participated in it. Or you might say something like, I cooperated with them and their desires and their preferences against my good judgments. And sure enough, it didn't play out very well. Or it may be that you'll think, yeah, I got hooked. They were stonewalling me, and there I was just pleading my case, trying to justify why it's okay and asking them why do they have to be so difficult, and I got pulled in. Or it may be that your decency and your goodness were called into question so strongly, and you're over there thinking, but I've got to make you think well of me. And you went too far in terms of trying to sell the decency of who you are. I mean, there are all sorts of ways, but let's keep in mind the name of the game for narcissists is empowerment. They want to be empowered by you. They love it when they get you hooked into their dysfunction. And the stronger you react to them, the more dysfunctional you become in your responses to them, the more they think, I won. And this proves why I'm the better person in the equation, and you're over there just knocking your head thinking, how did I let myself get pulled in that again? Now, one of the things that I'm hoping as you recognize that narcissists love to bait you. They love to get you pulled in and then hook you kind of like that prize fish. The more you're onto their techniques and their styles, then let's recognize that that's going to become power and awareness or an awakened mind for you. One of the way, or many of the ways that they can bait you are this. Sometimes they'll come at you with blame and accusation. They just want to whittle down your sense of resolve. That's one way they can try to hook you. Sometimes they'll attack your character, and they may say something like, you realize nobody believes in you. I don't. And that you don't think well, you don't.
I don't believe this guy.
This, and continued to blame the U.S., and his conspiracy-brained advisors and propagandists continued to cheer him on. The nationalists were unhappy with him because they wanted him to invade all of Ukraine, and the liberals were unhappy with him because American sanctions had damaged the economy. To quote Alexander Dugin,
Crimea was the culmination point, the last stop before changing absolutely the logic of the development of modern Russia. But it didn't happen. I don't know why. It was a betrayal. For the patriotic group, it was a betrayal by Putin of our awakening. And for liberals, it was a betrayal by Putin of globalist rules. So Putin has betrayed both parties. And it is the worst that could possibly happen, because we've committed half the crime, but paid the full price.
Backed into a corner, surrounded by yes-men, facing a ticking clock and slowly going insane under COVID lockdown, Putin decided to cut the Gordian knot and prove once and for all that Ukrainian democracy was a Potemkin village. And you know the rest.
Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
And a little bit of chicken fried. Cold beer on a Friday night. A pair of jeans that fit just right.
What?
And the radio. Got 5 bonus wings. Да не уж как Югославию, Америке. Мы стаем без боя кровную родиню. И летает братский сос над русским берегом.
In August of 2014, as the war was heating up, the Russian ultranationalist militias decided to throw a party for themselves. A celebratory bike show in newly annexed Crimea. This bike show also included a poetry reading, interpretive dance, rock opera version of the war in Ukraine, as they imagined it. They spared no expense, and I recommend everyone go and watch this video, because it's one of the better views you can get into the mindset of the type of people who started this war, like a sort of Putin-themed Psychonauts level. Defenseless riot cops are terrorized by Ukrainian Nazis, while the giant wire mesh hands of Uncle Sam pull their puppet strings. A drum line of blood-vomiting bikers stand at attention in front of the eye pyramid of the New World Order, while speeches of Barack Obama and Adolf Hitler spliced together are played over the loudspeaker. All while the leader of a motorcycle gang that simultaneously venerates both Joseph Stalin and Tsar Nicholas as saints reads anti-Semitic poetry about how this war is the culmination of Stalin's dream. In 1993, Yeltsin was having people like this gunned down in the street. In the late 90s, they were tolerated but still politically marginalized. By the mid-2000s, they had been made part of the systemic opposition. By 2012, they were exercising real political power. And now, here they are, in 2014, with the backing of the president, on national state television, in front of a crowd of hundreds of thousands, dancing in a swastika formation to Hans Zimmer Batman music. There are people who see this progression and think it was inevitable, that this is the expression of the real Russia, but all I can see are the contingencies, the stupid contingencies. I didn't make these videos to prove to you that Russia is imperialist and therefore bad. I made them to prove that the Russians are stupid. They're inept imperialists. Because the stupidity is the tragedy here. Imperialism is rational, if not good. So it's somewhat inevitable in a world with strong countries and weak countries. But this was a waste. Anyone who tells you Alexei Navalny or whoever is just as bad as Putin because he's just a smarter, subtler nationalist is greatly underestimating the destructive capacity of stupidity. But it's not just Russia.
Who else could it be?
真の勝利への道には男の価値が必要だ。光の道を見ろ。進むべき輝ける道を。ようこそ男の世界へ。
失敗というのはいいかよく聞け。真の失敗とは開拓の心を忘れ困難に挑戦することに無縁のところにいる者たちのことを言うのだ。このレースに失敗なんか存在しない。存在するのは冒険者だけだ。
死因のトップは何か知ってるか？蚊が媒介する伝染病が1位で馬に蹴られて死ぬやつがその次だ。お前さんがその順位を入れ替えるつもりか？
この物語は僕が歩き出す物語だ。肉体がという意味ではなく青春から大人という意味で。
これはテクニックじゃねえ。どうやら能力のようだ。
飢えなきゃ勝てない。気高く飢えなくては。飢えなきゃ勝てない。ずっともっと気高く飢えなくては。これはもう爪を越えた牙だ。これからはタスクと呼ぶ。
今この私が基本になった。
What?
ジャイル、悪魔の実を全部集めてみませんか？
俺に意見を求めたのか？にょー
We have from the UK.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I want to ask you, what should we do if you are being pressured to shake hands with the opposite gender? I'm not saying such a situation, but I feel it may happen in the future.
If you're pressured by opposite gender to do what?
to shake hands.
Okay. Any more question?
No, just this one.
Okay. So Shihab is saying that I fear that I may be put in a situation where the opposite gender would force me to shake hands. And this happens in Kafir countries where they don't have any restrictions. So you would go to a meeting, a woman would extend her hand for you to shake hands with. So he's saying that this is haram in my religion. I know that in the authentic hadith, the Prophet said, ﷺ, it is best for you to be stabbed in your head with a needle of steel rather than to touch a woman who is not permissible for you. So now he says, I'm forced. Akhi, you're not forced unless there is gunpoint. When you're at gunpoint, this is forced. So you have to have the pride in your religion. You have to be proud of it. When you are committed to it, you simply tell people, I can't shake hands. Or when you see a woman coming and you know that she's gonna reach out and try to shake hands with you, you just do this and greet her from a distance and take a step or two back. But in worst case scenarios, you simply say, I apologize, I'm sorry, but my religion prevents me from shaking hands with women out of respect or whatever. Some people may even joke about this, but this is not recommended. You have to hold your grounds and say that this is not permissible. And reverse it. Imagine if your wife or your mother was forced by a man who wanted to shake hands with them. Would you allow her to do that? Yeah. And what about if you were in Spain, for example? They don't shake hands, they kiss on the cheek. So then what? You say, I was forced. Wow. No, you have to hold your grounds. You have to be proud of your religion and not feel ashamed of it, because this is the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal.
Who rang?
作为一个中国人，你觉得最近现在的美国，不知道你们对美国社会现象了不了解？有没有什么感到奇怪的？就作为一个中国人，觉得他们那边文化很奇怪，或者社会现象很奇怪。
比如说毒品的管制，因为我有关注一个央视的记者叫刘小谦，他是新华社驻美记者，我经常可以通过他的镜头看到一些，比如说美国的费城，他们有很多流浪汉，一些吸毒成瘾的人，在街上以街为家，就是挺奇怪的。然后整个街道也挺混乱，就是这种现象让我觉得，有点不可思议。
美国社会现象就是美国的总统大选好像蛮有意思的。特朗普这边嘛，一边要参加竞选，一边嘛官司缠身。在美国这种在其他国家估计都很少能够有的问题的吧？那他尽管这边这个法院要向他去要拿到传票要去出庭，那边呢支持他的人也是很多。另外嘛，拜登现在已经80多岁了，他还在竞选总统，
颤颤巍巍的。多少那是多少种性别来着？那个好像100-200种性别，那个是真的太炸裂了。
就我之前看哪个州的，就是他们那个选举，然后他们会说，比如说如果你是一个黑人，然后并且你是一个性少数群体，然后你被选举到的概率会大很多，相对于其他人。那在某种程度上，它的确让一些少数群体被看到，但是另一方面，其实对于就是就是多数群体好像也是一种就是不太公正的一个意思，因为你的身份这样你的身份就会自然而然带给你一种就是怎么说特权了，就是你的这种少数的身份。
之前在美国的时候，就有些东西就已经很奇怪了，就比如说什么 LGBT 那种，其实本来就已经很奇怪了，我觉得。现在只不过是愈演愈烈了嘛。之前待在美国的时候，这个其实就是尤其是那时候因为还在读书嘛，学校里面其实这种情况就已经很多了。就比如说最新的不是什么那个是罗密欧与朱丽叶，那个是话剧什么？是话剧还是音乐剧来着？那个不是那个选角不也是吗？好像是荷兰弟和另外一个谁来着，我忘了。就那个选角很奇怪啊。然后还有就是包括就之前像那种什么白雪公主啊，什么美人鱼啊，还有那部说那个就是那个说欧洲皇室那个就是不是找了一个什么黑人的女皇嘛，就像那种就是我觉得像这种东西你要搞这种政治正确啥的都没问题，但是我觉得这种颠覆原著的或者说都不叫颠覆原著了，颠覆历史的，我觉得这种就没有必要，是吧？我觉得这种就已经有点矫枉过正。我感觉他们这种就纯粹是为了不犯错，你不犯错连钱都不想赚了，我觉得这种就没有必要，说实话。 那你觉得这种社会现象或者思维模式在中国会不会接受？像这种东西在中国就可能会有，因为中国就不是一个移民国家嘛，那它就不会出现这种情况，对吧？它也就只有在美国才会出现这种情况。 那作为一个中国人，你觉得美国是真正的言论自由国家？
我觉得可能从我们看来，就是他们可能民众也许是自由的，但是主流媒体一定还是会有偏向性的。
我觉得不存在绝对的言论自由的，就是如果按我理解的话，在美国你是不能发表关于犹太啊或者关于2战德国的一些言论的。但是在中国的话，也有一些那个敏感的话题是不能说的。
There are also some sensitive topics you cannot discuss in China. Some.
作为一个中国人，你觉得最近现在的美国，不知道你们对美国社会现象了不了解？有没有什么感到奇怪的？就作为一个中国人，觉得他们那边文化很奇怪，或者社会现象很奇怪的。
比如说毒品的管制因为我有关。
Get wrapped up together. And I think the challenge is that narcissism is more than being an asshole. Okay? There are many assholes who are narcissists. There are many assholes who are not narcissists. And there are many narcissists who are not assholes. So here are a couple of features that I really think about in terms of narcissism. One is a sense of internal self-worth that is low or shaky, and therefore requires outward validation to preserve a sense of self.
But mine is
so what this kind of means is if I don't feel confident in myself, I'm going to require the rest of the world telling me that I'm an awesome person to feel good about myself. And so what happens with narcissistic people is they engage in behaviors that lead to those kinds of outward shows. So for example, a lot of people will be sympathy farmers. So they'll go around, people who are narcissistic will go around and tell stories of woe is me. And what happens is like when they are sympathy farming, people will be like, oh my God, poor you. And then they feel cared for, right? They feel loved because other people are like telling them, oh my God, that must be so hard for you. The problem is that it becomes narcissistic because it becomes self-centered. Like, and this is where the self-centeredness comes in, because when someone else is telling a story about sympathy, you're like, oh wow, like look at that sweet, sweet sympathy that person is getting. Like, I need me some of that sweet, sweet sympathy, man. Like, I feel bad about myself. I don't feel loved. Like, let me get some of that sweet, sweet sympathy. Oh man, you got emotionally abused by your parents. I got physically abused, emotionally abused. I got all the abuses, man. And so then you one-up them, right? You engage in behaviors to garner that sympathy, but in doing so, you actually like are insensitive to the needs of others, right? So that's how like that narcissism kind of like complex works. So one aspect of it is like insecurity in your internal environment, requiring you to engage in behaviors that garner that sympathy. And this is also why like people like give you the sympathy, but they feel manipulated by it, right? Like they're like, man, fuck that. Like you don't, sometimes people don't even understand what's going on, but they start to dislike you. So the second aspect of narcissism is self-centeredness. It's hard, but like you can't not think about yourself. And this post has such a good example. They're like, you know, if your friend is having a bad day, your mind automatically thinks about how you are making their day worse. You're not an asshole. It's just your mind is like, oh my God, how did I screw up? Like, I'm screwing up so bad. This person is so upset. And the person can even say, hey, it has nothing to do with you. Like, the world does not revolve you. My suffering does not revolve around you. But their brains are just like populating thoughts, but like, they're just saying that to make me feel better, but it is my fault. They're trying to say that to make me feel better, but clearly I'm screwing up in some way. I could be a better friend. And so it's kind of interesting, but like the world kind of revolves around them. So sometimes that results in like entitlement and assholes behavior, right? Where you show up somewhere and you're like, where is my food, waiter? I've been waiting for 15 minutes. And you have like no conception that other human beings have like lives and challenges, and maybe the waiter has something going on or like whatever, right? So sometimes it results in assholery. But like it doesn't always result in assholery. Sometimes it actually results in like really low self-esteem. Sometimes it results in like a lot of like, once again, behaviors that can be frustrating to other people, like reassurance seeking. Like, are you sure that you're not upset at me? Are you really sure that you're not upset at me? Like, are you really sure that you're upset because your dad passed away and it's not my fault? Are you sure? And so it's not like you're being mean or an asshole to them, but you're also doing things that make people like not.
Are you sure? Alert sure the Prime Sub 6 years and Fumbles the Noob. Says Forsen Despair. Nilzaina, welcome back. Ems2A, welcome. M2 Sad, rather. 3 years of Mr. Arco, thank you very much. Enjoy the badge. Miles, 3 years as well. But a strong man. He says his words, not mine. Alright, almost. Fucking this thing. Stupid ass shit. Alright, I'm done with these fucking links. Alright, we're donezo. Alvanzo. No further. God damn, I didn't expect so many links before a fucking intro was done. On a fucking Monday morning, huh? Don't you have anything better to do? Either way. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're starting something dank. I was gonna do Vice City speedrunning, but yesterday I thought maybe we try out this chaos mode. First time, a little GTA 5 playthrough. All right. Let's see if it works. All right, let's see if it works. I am going to go into this thing first. Maps, come on. All right. Voting. Okay. So I'll be doing proportional voting. I think proportional voting is the best voting. For those of you who don't know, proportional voting is if something is 30%, if something got 30% of the votes, it has 30% of becoming the option. That way, you don't have to vote for one of the top 2 leading ones, because your vote for the option you wanted has no impact. This way, even if it's just one vote for an alternative, that has a 1 in X votes to come true, right? I think it's the better option. Okay. Not a democracy. No, not a democracy. Why would I vote in your chat if I could go to McDonald's and earn money in the meantime? Because you can't even get a job at McDonald's. So this is the only option you have remaining. Alright, let's see here. This is not full game capture. That is... okay. Where do you put your cam in this game?